Hey there, and welcome to my lazy review of Godzilla vs. Kong Part 2, or is it Godzilla x Kong the New Empire? And let's be honest, you don't care. Now, before I get into it and I talk about the trailer, which I did watch multiple times, if you say, Chris, you drunken loser, I'm not going to waste my time with this stupid movie because it does look stupid, I wouldn't fight you on that. But this just, by the trailer, it appeals to the inner 8-year-old in me who grew up with the whole rubber suit Godzilla, and yeah, I still like stupid movies compared to, say, Godzilla Minus One, which is a fantastic film in its own right. Now, I will say that Godzilla vs. Kong, I do have a soft spot for that film because during COVID and everything was shut down, it was the first film that I saw in theaters in like 6 months, and it was sold out. Everybody had a fantastic time. And considering the source material, a big ape versus a big lizard, it took itself seriously enough, but also not serious because it's a big ape versus a big lizard. And that's pretty much it. And the trailer seems to be more of the same. Mind you, you could say that the start of this whole legendary verse, this whole new Godzilla verse, starting with the Gareth Edwards film, was taking itself pretty seriously, and then it got kind of cartoony, almost like say how Fast and the Furious was pretty simple and pretty basic in the beginning, then just got more and more ridiculous. This seems to be following the same formula, and yeah, I mean, I walk into a film like this knowing what I'm gonna get, and I'm pretty sure that it's gonna give me everything that I'm gonna expect. Now, when I come back, I'm gonna spoil the film because do you care about spoilers? I highly doubt it. All I know is that King Kong gets a freaking glove. Godzilla, for some weird reason, is glowing pink, and we have this new Scar King monkey, and possibly a new kaiju because based on the trailer, it seems like Kong is blocking a new attack, and I'm pretty sure it's not coming from Godzilla. And of course, he still has his trusty Godzilla axe from the previous movie, and maybe that's how he hurts his hand. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's probably gonna be freaking stupid, alright? But I'm gonna try to have a good time. Check this out in IMAX, and that's all I can say. I will be right back. Do me a favor and enjoy my intro. Alright, I just got back, and yeah, I did change my t-shirt, and have a little bit left over of Starry, because I said before Regal stopped doing Coke products, and I have a little bit of gin, and yeah, you know what, the whole friggin' screening was sold out. It wasn't IMAX. There was kids in there from 8 years old to grown men like me in their 40s and 50s, and it's Godzilla vs. Kong Part 2. It's everything I expected it to be. It was over the top, stupid, cartoonish, it was dumb, and yeah, I loved it.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
I don't care, it's still good. So, what's going on? As I said before, I'm going to spoil the film because do you care? Hell no. Now, if you did watch Godzilla vs. Kong, at the end, these two had this weird kind of a truce where, you know what? Godzilla will stay on the surface, and King Kong, he winds up going down to the Hollow Earth and just separating the two. And Godzilla still has the same character arc since the Gareth Edwards film. It's not that he's the good guy, but more like he just balances out nature. There are still other kaijus attacking Earth, but he senses something is going on, and he starts powering himself up. Yes, it does sound kind of silly because it is, but in terms of the lore in this universe, it does make sense, since if you did watch King of the Monsters, Godzilla does get his ass kicked, and then he has to come back after getting hit with a nuclear bomb and beating King Ghidorah. I will say that for a Godzilla vs. Kong film, Godzilla only has maybe, I don't know, 15-20 minutes airtime. This, for the most part, is like 95% King Kong. It's almost like a Skull Island Part 2, but King Kong, his whole arc is he's down in the Hollow Earth and he's the last of his species, he's kind of bored, and then out of nowhere he discovers this little mini monkey, which you've seen in the trailers. First they're kind of enemies, then they're kind of frenemies, but the ultimate goal is he leads him into this new ape, the Scar King. Now who's the Scar King? There is some bullshit backstory lore, and we do have the human element. They come down to the Hollow Earth. I'm not even lying because it's funny as I'm saying this. There's a whole big backstory of like the Scar King. At one point, all of these monkeys jumped Godzilla, but Godzilla, he almost lost, but he didn't, and he kind of just kicked all their asses. The Scar King has been plotting his revenge the entire time. He's pretty angry, but he knows that he can't beat Godzilla. But what happens? Hey, big spoilers, he has his own Godzilla, basically an ice version, and according to the lore, not even joking, this thing was so powerful that, yeah, last time it was on the surface, it caused the last ice age. Like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know as I'm saying that, I'm trying not to laugh too much, but So of course King Kong gets into a fight with the Scar King and this Ice Godzilla. He gets his big paw hurt because, okay, he still is a big monkey. He doesn't have any kind of powers. And as stupid as it sounds, because it does, the humans, at least in terms of this universe, understand the fact that King Kong, in terms of other kaijus, he doesn't really have any powers. And what happens? How does King Kong get the big power glove? Apparently, they were prototyping, they were testing a big glove to help out the big monkey get even stronger. Yeah, it sounds stupid because it is, but these guys, of course, they have portals coming from the hollow earth back to the surface. Well, King Kong, even with his new bullshit power glove, he can't beat the Scar King and the new Ice Godzilla. He needs some help. So he returns to the surface, and Godzilla, now all glowing and being pink, and of course, they get into a big fucking fight because Godzilla is a stupid lizard, and yeah, it's funny as hell seeing, no bullshit, these two knock each other through pyramids, and at one point, Godzilla suplexes King Kong. I'm saying I'm trying to be serious here, but okay. They call a truce because, hey, guess what? You know who arrives? Spoilers, Mothra. And to the credit, the CGI on Mothra does look fantastic, and even Godzilla, I'm not going to mess with Mothra. So they go down inside the Hollow Earth, and guess what? Now you have King Kong and Pink Godzilla versus the Scar King and Ice Godzilla. A big fight breaks out, and no bullshit. The entire third act is just one 40-minute battle sequence. At one point, the portals open up again, and now they take the portals back into Earth, and then the Scar King taking his whip and taking buildings and throwing them at Kong, and of course Godzilla's fighting the Ice Godzilla. It's just fucking madness and stupid. And come on, guys, it's a Kong versus Zilla movie. Do you think that Kong and Zilla are going to beat the big bad guys? Are they going to win?
Duh!
Okay, that's pretty much it, and sorry this is going on longer than it should, so let's just get on to my lazy questions, alright? Number one off the bat, as always, how to feel about the film. As I said earlier, I did love the film for what it is, but I can understand how some people would say that, dude, this is stupid, I'm not going to waste my time. It's on the same level as a Fast and Furious film, and again, as somebody who grew up with the whole rubber suit Godzilla, I appreciated the zaniness and the craziness for what it was. I never thought I would ever see Godzilla, no bullshit, sleeping like a cat inside of a coliseum. I never thought I would see King Kong have a power glove. It just appeals to the inner 8-year-old in me who just always wanted to see this stuff when I was a kid, but they didn't have the technology. It's a live action Dragon Ball Z movie. It's a cartoon, it's anime. I take this as seriously as if I go see a Dragon Ball superhero film. Simple as that. Is this a good movie? Fuck no. I'm not even going to debate you. I'm not going to pretend it is. I would say this movie is pretty shitty for everybody else, but to get to number two, would I recommend this film? If you did like Kong vs. Zilla, if you do have little kids, they will love this film. Would I recommend it? For most people, hell no. You have to be a fan of the genre, but would I recommend Fast 10 if you hated Fast 1 through 9? If you didn't like Kong vs. Zilla, why would you watch this for? Simple as that. But number three, most importantly, as I always say, being blue collar, I didn't pay for it and go to Regal to give me a free IMAX ticket. But you know what? Do I feel like this movie is worth your hard-earned money? Again, it only is if you want this kind of film. I would have paid full price for it and I would have had a good time because I knew what I was getting into. But for everybody else, come on guys, it's not even hard. Save your goddamn money.
Didn't I just tell you to save your money?
As I talk about every single film, I have to review it, rate it. This one's no different. And before I even walked into the theater, I already knew how I was going to rate Godzilla vs. Kong Part 2. Not even a question. This movie, by all accounts, is very simply put a stupid fucking popcorn movie. It is what it is. I didn't have much expectations, and it surpassed all my stupid expectations. And even as I'm talking about the fucking plot, I'm trying not to bust out laughing, alright? That's pretty much it. That's all I can say, guys. Let me, as I always do, check my watch because I'm always low on time. I'll grab Bender. I'll finish this delicious Starry and Gin, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers.
This calls for a drink.
Oh yeah, one last thing.
It's called a catchphrase.
Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. And as always, I gotta go back to work.